Well, look, before we go, you hear me talk regularly about the Biden administration, and it truly is pathetic. The cognitively declining Joe Biden, who cannot speak without an autocue and wants a cup of warm cocoa before he goes to bed. And then the ideologically dangerous Kamala Harris. She bowed out of the Democratic presidential primaries, as I told you, in December 2018 with 2% of the Democratic vote. These two weak leaders bending to the left, unfortunately, the rest of the free world, which now seems to include other weak leaders. Why am I telling this? We see today that Josh Frydenberg's Melbourne electoral office was ambushed by Extinction Rebellion protesters, chaining themselves to the door and chanting Greta Thunberg quotes. But Josh Frydenberg, to my knowledge, has never, as Deputy Liberal leader, uttered a single word to repudiate the nonsense of climate change protesters and school climate strikes, let alone Extinction Rebellion mob. He's the Federal Treasurer. Yet we have major banks in this country, ANZ being one of them, who refuse to fund projects in the fossil fuel industry, and Josh stays silent. So here we are, weak Western political leadership, whether it be in America or here, and it only strengthens the left. Alistair Heath's column in today's UK Telegraph reinforces how the free world has been captured by left-wing lunacy. The headline, quote, Biden's woke left-wing America is no longer a model for the world. Heath writes, quote, I still love America, but the tragic reality is that today's United States is no longer Ronald Reagan's shining city on a hill. It is instead a republic in decline, plunged into a moral, economic, philosophical and existential crisis that may yet destroy it. Joe Biden's useless presidency will merely intensify the forces driving the nihilism that's eating away at America's soul. Heath goes on, and I quote, in the authoritarian, anti-democratic worldview, which now dominates universities, big business, government and cultural institutions, free speech is dismissed as violence, conservatism as fascism, and differences of opinion as microaggression, unquote. Well, we talk about these things nightly, but was any of this raised today in the National Parliament? Not a word of it. Which brings me to the thought for the night. People are going to behave however the social norms permit, and even beyond that. And they are. Witness the mob today in the disgraceful attack on the office of the Federal Treasurer.